In Jamaica, the term jacket refers to a child who is not biologically tied to the name father. Today, we reveal the truth. Welcome to Jacket Court.
What is wrong with Clive?
Welcome back
Clive?
to Daytime Live. This is where, if someone is not watching Daytime Live, decide
Can I hear Rich over here?
go call a friend, go call a co-worker, and let them know they can't miss this segment. Because it's all about a new kind of courtroom drama, and it's coming to Jamaican television. And it's tackling one of the most talked about and sensitive issues in our culture. Jacket Court, TVJ's latest program, and it steps into the heart of paternity disputes where truth, trust, and DNA collide. So, like, no, we're being joined virtually by the executive producer, Mr. David Heron, who I am auditioning for a role, and announcer, Shevrado Oliver, to tell us more about this series. David.
Do you hear the song that Rich is playing over there, If You Know Your Baby Father? What is wrong with you?
I wouldn't hear that song.
So you know it.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, David. Welcome, Shevrado.
Hi, afternoon. Every day that the promo comes on in the newsroom, all the ladies in there are like, we have to see this. And I'm going to defend the ladies. And I'm from Manchester because apparently the research shows that Manchester is the parish that has the most incidents of jacket.
Incidents?
Incidents. So they say, I don't know how accurate that is, and I'm from Manchester. And I said, Mommy, you sure? And she said, no, Mommy, no, my baby father. So no, I'm not one.
Right.
But
You're actually right. According to 876 DNA.
Right.
They told us that Manchester is the highest rating jacket. Or paternity fraud, I would, properly call it.
My people gotta do better. But tell me about why deciding on a show like this. I mean, we know the mores of it all, but then to have the Jamaican version, was it as a result of like that story or the data from 876?
Absolutely, Shevrado, right next to me, sitting right next to me. Was it 2 years ago, Chef? You sent me an article.
2024.
Yeah, he sent me a newspaper article telling me, and he said, do you know that Jamaica have the highest in the world paternity? I said, in the world? Nigeria is second, or
second,
I'm not sure. But
so right now the stats have it at 36.4% for Jamaica. And I mean,
you know what?
A population this size, that is astronomical.
That's bad.
We don't want to get into the numbers so much, but tell us about the show. Tell us a little bit about what inspired the creation of this.
Yeah, so as I was saying, Shevrado, out of the blue, just text me some newspaper article. I think it came from your
Star. I think it was a Star.
Yeah, from your production, your newspaper. And I was astonished. I said, really? And he said, and I saw that where a lot of times people find out, or the parent, the father find out that the child is a jacket. It was when he filed for them to come to the States or some other country, and then they find out that the child is not actually biologically his, So that struck interest in me, and I spoke to my producer, Leland Benford. I wanted to just give him a big up because he's the one that developed work. I said, hey, Lee, what do you think about doing a Jamaican type of paternity court? He said, well, you can't call it paternity court because that name is already taken. Right. We have to come up with a name. Well, I said, in Jamaica, they call them jacket. How about? He said, that's perfect, man. That's perfect. So we had a little problem selling it as jacket because a lot of people think it's more like Jerry Springer, and it's not. It's not a Jerry Springer type, where people come on and fight and stuff like that.
Right.
It's really legitimate, real people, real stories, and so that's really what inspired it. That the newspaper article, the news article that Chef sent me.
So,
And
so is the premise really to find out paternity of children of Jamaican men? What is the aim of the show altogether? Are we trying to?
Well,
Because I know men don't want to know if them get a jacket or not, and they wouldn't want that to be publicized. You want to know?
Yes.
You want that on TV?
Everyone would want to know, I think.
No.
Exactly.
We want to know.
is
because-
that a female perspective or that's
Yeah, we want to
I
know.
don't want to know.
A WhatsApp
But, Adrian,
message,
this is
email.
we wanted to use this as a vehicle to explore these sensitive topics, to look at stories that weren't told before, because everybody know about a jacket, but like, what is the story behind it, right? How did it come to be?
Okay.
It's truly sensitive. It touches every strata of our society, whether uptown, downtown, not the church, jacket everywhere. So it's like, we use this as a vehicle to tell those stories, to bring it to light, to bring attention to this, so people can understand that it's highly nuanced. How do we stop it? Can we mitigate it? Can we help it? Is it socioeconomic? What is it? So that's the story that behind the show, to bring this to the fore,
Right.
so people can have discourse and really figure it out. Because we always talk about it, but we haven't really delved so deep into the whole behind the scenes of the jacket kind of a thing.
So even though these situations may have some entertaining aspect to it, or maybe how the story is told, it is really a serious matter that you're
Yes.
using this, as you said before, as a vehicle to explore something that is deeply rooted in our culture, seeing the percentages that have been put forward, especially how we rank worldwide.
Yes, I mean, you see, when you have a society as influential as the Jamaican society, where global culture is moved and shaped by what we do,
Right.
we have to look at this as a responsibility of sorts, to say, okay, where are we going wrong? What can we do to educate the masses, to let them look at things a little bit differently? Because some people would say, oh, you know what, it's just a jacket. But it really rips families and society in general apart when you find out that something happened that could have been prevented really if you did do a DNA test early, or if you were just more responsible. You know what I mean? So it's so multifaceted. We just have to use it to make people more aware of the power that lies behind this situation.
One of the things that stand out for me, is he hearing me? I hope that. One of the things that stand out for me is when you dive into topics like these, and especially if someone becomes aware or learns of a child not being his, the kind of psychological or mental or emotional effect that can have on the person. I think like partnership with the relevant authorities, like your counselors, your therapists, your psychologists, those people will need to play a part in the after effect once this person now learns of a situation where he's not the dad. Is that a part of it also?
Absolutely, yeah. You touched on a good point, because we're not just educating; we're providing psychological counseling. You'll see in some of our episodes that the judge, who's a real judge, say that the child is the one that is really bearing the brunt of this situation. And well, not just the child, but the parents too. The father, if the father isn't or whatever. So that there needs to be some kind of some counseling. There are instances where everything is fine. The father turned out to be child turned out not to be a jacket, but still there was some mistrust where it came to court, and the judge said, "Listen, we'll have to afterwards, after this court scene is done with, we'll have to have some counseling, because something isn't right. Why you distrust your partner like that? Why you actually brought her to court and accuse her of being, unfaithful and stuff like that." You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, people, listen, Jacket Court airs tomorrow. Tomorrow, right here on TVJ. So please be sure to tune in. Big thank you to our guest executive producer, David Heron. Thank you. And announcer, Shevrado Oliver, thank you as well for giving us that inside look at what promises to be one of the most talked about shows this season. And I'm sure maybe halfway through the season or before the season's out, we'd like to have you guys back on to talk much more about the repercussions and the feedback based on the show. Thank you guys for sharing with us. Now,
You're
we have
welcome.
more on the other side of this break, so stay with us. Daytime Life continues.
I'm giving birth to a life. Me have me husband and my wife. Why everybody asking?
Me man Jones as him like, come in as him like. Chat on phone with girl all night. He in on me side,